Alright, hello and welcome back everybody, this is Ace. In the previous video we had some issues with the healer druid. I looked into them, just some oversight. They were trying to pre-heal, that's why they were just healing all the time and they were cancelling. That's exactly what happens during pre-heals. It works the same, well, relatively speaking, in a broad sense, it works the same for all the healers. When they are assigned to pre-heal, and the way they do that is you assign them a focus mark and you put the focus mark on a friendly target, and they will just constantly cast their biggest heals. Like for a priest would be greater heal, for a druid would be healing touch, just the highest rank. So they would try to cast that, and 75% into that cast they would evaluate if it's necessary to let the cast go through or not, and they decide that based on if at least half of the amount of heal from the spell can go through and actually heal the target, then they will let it go through. If not, they would cancel it. So they, when you set them to pre-heal, they will overheal. Make of that what you will, yeah, it was an oversight in the druid code that they were pre-healing. They were pre-healing when someone was below 50% HP, which is exactly what was happening. So I fixed that. I tried to improve it, separate it a little bit, and we're gonna test the druid healer again just to see if it fixed the issue or not. But you see, in every one of these videos we keep finding issues, and these are pretty significant issues. These are not irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. We tested Paladin, let's do Shaman. And we're gonna use... Hey, I did say, right? I was giving that... no, not the Shaman healer. I was giving an example in the last video. I was saying maybe it's a good idea to use a shaman, not a druid healer, for the thorns, and maybe we can do a warlock for what's it called, fire shield. His pet will use fire shield on the tank. Oh no, hold on. Actually, I think fire shield may not work together with other poopy sense, with other reflects, retributions, whatevers. It may not work together. Well, then fine, we can use Paladin DPS. Back to the basics, yeah. Wait. What's the Paladin DPS aura gonna be? Ah, okay. There you go. It happened to be Retribution. That's fine. Let's mark everybody. We're doing this at level 23 because the final boss is 27. So we're gonna do all dungeons 4 levels lower. We have seen in the last video that it can be an issue towards the end, as enemies are so high level, it takes a long time to kill them. But yeah, as long as they can kill them, that's all it matters. And by the way, I suspect that some of the overhealing we've seen with the druid healer may have been caused by the fact that he was pre-healing. And like I said, if they can allow at least half of the heal to go through, they'll let you go through. That's why I was seeing so much overhealing. So what I want to do is look at overhealing them. And we're going to see some background overhealing coming from rejuvenation, which is absolutely fine and normal. Yes, he will wait until 75% to heal. So I think before he was potentially healing a lot more. Now he should wait until 75%. So you see he's healing maybe not as much as before. And if you look at the overhealing done now, you see there's no overhealing. The only overhealing comes from rejuvenation, which is normal. And if you remember in the previous video, he was casting rank 4 all the time, and now you see him down ranking. When he's pre-healing, he's only casting the highest rank. It makes no sense to cast anything else, as far as I think. Every time I make statements like this is what I think. Of course, everything is debatable, and, yeah. But I don't think if you're trying to pre-heal, obviously cast the biggest, baddest of them all, and let it go through if it actually can achieve something. But yeah, okay. Overhealing now, basically none. He has applied rejuvenation on the tank, we can see it. Nobody else has rejuve. We're going to see at a higher level. The difference between the druid and any other healer is just the different aspect. The different playstyle with the HOTS after we get the tree form. I had to change some things to make that work. It definitely was not standard healing up until like we were used to. We're gonna see. I haven't really tested that much in the tree form healing. We're gonna see it together if it works or not. But either way, I think he's doing a pretty good... I mean, we overpulled here quite a lot. Did this guy use a healing potion or... Oh, Gift of the Naru. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, lay on hands. There you go. Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of juice going out. You know what, I'm curious? If they will use healing stones. We should check that out. Because the warlock is supposed to give them health stones, and they're supposed to use them because they have them, and you can give them health stones yourself. If you didn't have a warlock companion in the group, you could give them health stones and they should use them. Shaman there was healing himself. I mean, they're supposed to do it, but I see this other doggy poopy guy kind of attacking somebody else, so I'm not sure about that thing. But they are supposed to heal themselves. The overhealing is basically none. That's why I was so surprised. I was kind of confused in the previous run. Why did they have so much overhealing? If they were critting, I could understand. So crits or hot overheals, I can understand. But like normal hits on overhealing, that seems strange. And yeah, you can see this time around, it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because they always cast the first rank of a heal that cannot fully heal the target. So if you're missing 100 HP and he has a rank of healing touch that can heal you for 101 or for 100, they'll not use that. If they have one that can heal you for 99 and you're missing 100, they'll use that one, right? So it's the first rank that cannot fully heal you, which means, okay, you are getting sometimes some passive healing in combat, like if you're using a healing a troll potion, right, which gives you combat health regeneration, or you have a hot on you, so it is possible that you're missing 100, they're casting one for 99, and because you have some regeneration, when the thing goes through, it will overheal. But I only expect that in this case only to happen on the tank, on rare situations. It should not happen on the DPS guys because they ain't got nothing. So let's look at healing done. Yes, look at that, everybody. They are using the lesser health stones, and if you do trade the warlocks yourself as a player, yeah, they'll give it to you, and you can pick it up and you can use it. But I'm full HP now, so that is also a thing, which is a good idea to pick this one up. The cool part about it is that it doesn't share a cooldown with normal healing potions, so it's very valuable. It's actually extremely good. The cooldown I think is maybe a minute. Let's take some damage here. Now I need another one. And you can keep trading the warlock. There's no cooldown for this, so long as you can have them. Okay, the cooldown is 2 minutes. That's fine. 2 minutes. If you take 1 hour to run a dungeon, you use 30 of these. That's a lot. That's a lot of them. So 2 minutes is not a long time. I mean, yeah, I've been talking for 30 seconds basically. So it's not a lot. But apart from that, there's not much else to say, right? It's healing as usual, I suppose. Until we get the tree form, not much to say. He's going to hot the tank if the tank is being attacked. Max rank hot, I don't care. Also, no healers are calculating hots, so hots are gonna overheal, and healers will overheal because the target has hots on it. I think hots, the way I view hots is not exactly a reliable heal. The purpose of hots is to give you to buy you some time to do other things, to heal other people. It's not efficient healing unless you're in a tree form, I suppose, because that one reduces the mana cost of hots by 20%. But in any other situations, hots are not efficient healing, so you are better off sticking with rank 3 and rank 4 of Rejuve. Those are the most efficient ones. Or just down-ranking heals in general. So the companions don't calculate. Like, for example, I've explained this in previous videos. If you have 2 healers and they're both trying to heal a target, let's say the target is missing 100 HP, first healer heals for 70 HP, the second healer sees that the first healer is healing for 70 HP and sees that the target is missing 100, so he does the math and he'll pick the rank of a spell that cannot fully heal 30 HP, so he can pick something like 29. And if he doesn't have such a rank, let's say the target is missing so low HP that no rank of a spell can fully heal the target, then he will cast nothing. He will not heal. With the exception of if the target is lower than 10 levels than the healer himself. In that case, he will use the actual lowest heal he's got. So think about a priest and he's got lesser heal, and that the shitty poopy heal, right? He'll use that. Like if he's level 70 priest trying to heal some level 24 guy, he might use a lesser heal, or whatever. He'll calculate it. He'll just use the lowest one he can. How do I keep pulling these guys through the environment? It's really annoying. It's not good. And it's actually kind of terrible, because we might accidentally pull that other guy as well. Shamans are not great for mass pulls like this. Like, you should not subject the shaman to something of this nature. He's not gonna be able to handle it too well. I mean, his damage is fine. If we look at damage done, like, he's got the goods. No doubt. Let's prioritize this a little bit. You see, the paladin is... Oh, never mind. He's a DPS. He's supposed to do this. Never mind. Let's not praise him for doing his job. Yeah, let's set some marks here just so we can get the job done. But surprisingly, everybody, they handled it. I mean, these guys are 3 levels higher and they handled it like professionals. Come on, man. It's pretty damn good, if I say so myself. If you did this with people, if they're good players, they could handle it too. But average people, 100% they would panic. 100%. Like, many times I've been a part of groups with people in situations like these. People panic. They don't know what to do. They don't focus fire. They just attack whatever. It's very rare that you pull through. In my experience, it does happen if the people know what they're doing. Absolutely. I've always said this. Like, ultimately, people could potentially play better than the companions, but actual experienced people. Yeah, because the difference between the companions and people is that companions don't have situational awareness. They cannot adapt. They don't understand circumstances. People do. When it comes to executing their rotations, you see it. Like, look at it. Look at it. It's like, what else is there to do? But they don't understand, you know, everything else. Context. They don't know. Error, you know? I mean, so ultimately people can do better. Still, if you're comfortable with using commands, you can absolutely make them do whatever you want. And you see, how many times, believe me, I've played tank in so many games. You know how many times, like, the most frustrating things is situations like this. Let's say we have a bad pull and I'm the tank. Everybody starts to panic. What do? Well, normally I would move everybody around the corner so they come, and people, if they know what they're doing, if they've played the game before and they experience, they'll follow along. They understand. Oh, he's doing a corner pull. Like, intuitively, they just know. Some people don't get it. Like, we would have, say, 10 mobs running down this path. I'll go here, pull down around the corner, and you would have some DPS guy just charging at them. That's what, and the healer would stay right in the middle. It's like, oh no, the DPS guy is dying. Oh my god, I need to heal him, right? So the DPS is obviously gonna die, and then obviously it's gonna be the healer second because he's been generating threat on healing the guy who died, and now we wipe, and that happens quite a lot. And you can type in chat and say, hey, we're corner pulling, but if you just pull 10 guys, it's not a lot of time to make announcements, and even less time for people to read the chat and, oh, he's doing corner pulling, cool, let me go do it myself. So it's rather inconsistent. I'm not saying it happens too often, but it does happen. It does happen. And with the companions, you just have full control. If you do corner pulls literally everywhere, how are you gonna lose? I don't know. It's also difficult. People, especially if they're experienced, it's kind of, it can also be counterproductive, right? Experienced people do well in dungeons, but it can also be counterproductive because they usually charge ahead. They don't wait for the tank. They don't wait for threat establishment. Nothing. They just charge in. They don't care. Warrior DPS, two-handed weapon. He's just charging in. He doesn't care. He's gonna tank himself. Now the healer, obviously, because anybody but the tank taking damage, they're gonna take more damage, and the healer is gonna be under more pressure. And if you know the party's gear is not that good, then it just snowballs into shit, and eventually you wipe. Or you know, it's not even that you wipe, because you can wipe, sure, but you waste a lot of time because there's more downtime involved. The healer now is probably out of mana. Now he needs to wait to regen his mana. Everybody else needs to regen their stuff. Maybe they had to pop consumables. I don't know, whatever. Pop their cooldowns. So it's difficult. I find it pretty difficult to play with people. It's also easier sometimes. Like if the group knows what they're doing, it can be easy, much easier. But let's say on average, I think it's harder to play with people. With the bots, like they just know what to do. Like look, I do my best to make their rotation correct. Yes, so you can, let's say, trust, even though it's maybe a strong word, but you can expect, let's say, for them to do their rotation relatively decently, right? And they do. So all you have to do is just tell them where to stand, and then they do the thing. And that counts just as much, telling them where to stand, as doing the rotation right. A lot of the time, you know, I let them do kind of whatever because I want to push them, and I'm also getting distracted talking and thinking about the other stuff, about their issues and their logic, but they get the job done. And how many times has it been so far in all these videos that we've seen them pulling things around? Just winning out of situations where I thought, yeah, for sure they're gonna wipe here. And it's not, let's say, really? There you go. That's why we're doing these videos. In every video we find issues. Paladin melee DPS casting consecration in the middle of the road. We had this problem with the tank, and I thought I fixed it. I fixed it for the tank, but they have separate logic. So while they're doing what they're doing, I fixed it for the tank. Surprisingly, yeah, I'm not looking at the screen. I hope these guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Should probably kill the ads here. Yeah. I'm just gonna let them have... What are they spamming even? Was this guy silenced? Oh! Shaman revived himself. Nice. The problem is he doesn't have a taunt, so he's gonna struggle to get aggro back. This warrior helps if you have some kind of warrior. Jesus Christ. Between mind control and fears, terrible. Yeah, it's very surprising. Okay, I understand what the problem is. Okay, there you go. Fixed it live, everybody. I see what the problem was. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, there you go, everybody. I fixed the problem. I'm even I'm bugged. Yeah, there's a bug when it says in chat move flag root. There's a bug when the companions crowd control you when you're mind controlled. Yeah, they do this to protect you and to protect themselves so you don't take damage. It bugs like that. Again, movement issues, movement fucking issues, so many movement issues. Yeah. Believe me, I've spent on this issue dozens of hours. I don't know. I don't know. It's complicated. It's not simple. And I don't have experience with this. I told you, there are many different aspects of this core. Yeah. It's difficult to know everything. I mean, it's just a completely different thing. I'll keep looking into it, but not anytime soon. Because I spent already a lot of time and it didn't solve the problem. So if I spend any more time, it's just sunken fallacy. You just spend more time. But I have no idea. So I would rather fix what I know, and later on, when I have time and I'm bored, I'll look into more movement issues. I don't know. It is what it is. But okay, at least we fixed that issue with the consecration in the open field. We're gonna test it on some boss. It only happened when attacking bosses. That's why I didn't see it until now. But now it's gonna be fixed. Where are my people? I think there's another boss here. You can do more pull. You can argue if it's a good idea for him to even cast what's it called, a chain lightning or lightning bolt at all, because it takes some time. It's very arguable. I think, relatively speaking, is not a bad idea, especially the chain lightning one. But if you don't, I'm not sure about it. But here's the deal: like, I would rather implement it and it's there, and if you don't like it, you can take it off, you can deny it, rather than not have it. And I don't know, maybe someone is wondering why are they not using lightning poop. I'm using lightning poop when I'm playing shaman tank, so not always, but I am. The damage is fine, within 2%. That's acceptable. I'm surprised that the Warlock is doing more than the Paladin. Just the Warlock in general, he's a little bit slow with those dots, but, you know. I guess he picked up some Rain of Fire AoE, so now he's doing some good AoE damage. Wow. Wow. Look at this guy. He's just walking, dude. No stress. Just walking. Oh, he is not just walking. He's actually slowed. Okay, fine. I'll take that back. Huh. Wait, was that the boss? Damn it. Ah, it's fine. There's another boss nearby. Oh, you see the healer, he just fairy fired the boss, right? He's only going to fairy fire bosses just to help. Cool. Let's go, boys. Yeah, it's going to take a long time. We do these dungeons under leveled, and they need a lot of time to kill these guys. But, you know, the problem is I cannot skip this. I mean, I would like to, and maybe we will towards the end, I don't know. But I can't skip it. You saw in the previous videos that towards the end we find issues. We find issues at the end of the dungeon after watching them for a while. Some issues are not obvious, like in the previous video. It was not immediately obvious that he was overhealing and that he was pre-healing and overhealing as a consequence to that. I mean, it was odd. I found it odd, but it worked. I mean, they cleared every encounter, so it's not like it didn't work, but it wasn't 100% correct. And only by observing it over long periods of time can you tell, hey, look, this is starting to raise questions. Why is he overhealing at all? Like, what's actually causing him to overheal? Like, what's happening? Why is that happening? Can we justify that? And yeah, only by observing. I mean, we've already done this, so it's not anything new. If you've watched the previous videos, yeah, we've seen it already. But we did this at very high level. That's why I want to redo it. You see, when we're pushing them, they crack under pressure. And it's the small things. It's always literally the small things. The smallest thing. Yeah, because it's one guy makes a small mistake, the other guy makes a small mistake, and it adds up. And then, you know, it is the difference between barely surviving and wiping. And I'm okay with you wiping. But if they play correctly. If they play correctly and you wipe, as in, I don't know. Well, again, I say that relatively speaking from my point of view. I have zero doubt that other people will play and with the companions and be like, no, they suck. I don't care. I'm talking from my point of view. If I look at this and I say, look, this is correct, and you wipe, I'm okay with that. That's okay. Try again. Use crowd controls. Use consumables. I mean, they're doing it in 4, so like, what excuse do you have? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's your contribution? Wait, we have crowd control this time. I'm kind of stressed out that we might fear one of these guys and pull more than we want. So let's yeah, let's clear a little bit downstairs, because we're low level and I'm concerned that we'll just aggro by mistake. Let's go, boy! Okay, cool. what CCs do we have? We have a fear. At very least, we have a fear. So what we could do, I don't think we can CC the boss. He's probably too unCCable. But we could handle it like this. Did we assign Poopy yet? Yes. Cool. What we're gonna do, I'm going to pull back on the boss because I want my tank to establish initial threat on the boss. And then we're gonna kill the little poopy guys here after we fear one of them, just so we alleviate some pressure. And then we're gonna switch and kill this other second poopy guy. Come on, man. So we're gonna change mark here, and we're gonna get the second poopy guy. You see everybody switch to the poopy guy. I remember vanilla. I tried this in different ways on vanilla, and I found this to be the most efficient way. You have to kill the poopy guys first because the tank, the boss is quite hard to kill. He takes a long time to kill, and in all that time, the poopy guys will get you. They'll wear you down. You see how long it takes to kill him. He's tanky as a motherfucker. Yeah, so... yeah, I got nothing. They're doing fine. What's overhealing like? Overhealing done. Wow. Lots of overhealing, but again, a lot of it from rejuvenation. We 100% ignore rejuvenation overheal. And some overhealing from crits. 100% correct. Like if you crit, you'll overheal. And some overhealing from actual hits, but again, it's hard to say because out of combat, you look at it. You see it right here. It just passed in the floating numbers. Out of combat, they will overheal. Like I made it that way slightly, not a lot, just slightly, but it adds up over many encounters. That adds up, and it's like that. So you save time because the amount of mana he consumes out of combat by using more efficient down ranking, it's a waste of time for you. Like he'll just drink and recover it much quicker. So overall you win, but it creates kind of a false positive. That's why I was testing last time. We can do it again because it's only in combat is where it matters. So what we can do is we reset and we just look in combat if he overheals. Nope. No. Yeah, pay attention. Look, I don't think it's a big idea. It's a big problem to... even from a gameplay perspective, let's take a step back and think about it in... yeah, just overall as a game. Just having to use some commands like this, I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't. I play other games, a lot of other games with AI companions, and they suck. Not all of them, but they suck because you cannot control them so well. First of all, they won't do as good of a job, and second of all, or third of all, they would not have all of these commands at your disposal. So you couldn't do as much as you can here. And nowadays when I play other games that have AI, I always think about this. I always think about this control panel and I'm like, yeah, I wish I could pull back. Why is that not a thing? Yeah, like, look how powerful this is. I'm probably gonna pull more and die, but... yeah, look how strong this is. This is amazing. Like, 100% this is amazing. I wish I had a remote control like this when playing with people. If you make macros and you put them on your keybinds, which I do, Like on vanilla, I have keybinds for most of these. I have like 6 keybinds. A lot of it is pull, pull back, attack, come, stay, come, toggle, that sort of thing. Start, stop. Absolutely amazing. It's not hard. I don't think it's hard. I mean, yeah, you have to play your own class, but that's not a big deal. Like if you play a mage, you just frostbolt. Like you're not busy, you know. You got room to press a couple of more buttons. Yeah, but for the most part, they do their own job. So if you just do a pullback, right, and that's an out of combat action. Just do a pullback. You don't even need to do start. I do it just because of to save some time, but it's not necessary. You do a pullback. We're just gonna do that from now on. And you wait 10 seconds. So what? You can make a macro if you don't want to wait 10 seconds. Do 5 seconds. Z pullback 5. Boom. No. So you press one button out of combat. That's not a lot to ask. That is not a lot to ask. Honestly, when I play with other people, if I had the pullback button and they would actually respect and not attack before I say go, holy shit. Like, that would be amazing. Like, I want the remote control for people, but yeah, obviously not gonna happen. Oops. Too late, brother. If I had the remote control to come toggle people, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing. Like, I have so many bad memories of situations where a come toggle for people would have been great. Which, yeah, because I didn't have it. And because it's high stressful situations like that. When you don't have time to type in chat, hey, we're being attacked by 20 guys, let me write to you 5 paragraphs on how we should handle this situation. Let's all move together over yonder, and then this is what happens, and then you need to CC mark, and then no, it's, yeah, while you're come toggling you can put CC marks and focus marks on the targets, right? So easy. You can keep buying this. Like, you can make a, first of all, a macro for this, all of this. You can even from the settings, if you go to key bindings, you can find them, and it's a toggleable thing. You can toggle it on and off. So for School, Cross, and Moon, I have key binds on my vanilla characters. Absolutely amazing. Like, on the fly, you just put them, boom, you go. Super strong. Yeah, I would say the only problem with the companions is that they're too strong. I know that pisses off people every time I said, oh, what do you mean they're too strong? They're too weak. No, I need to be 10 times stronger. No, they're too strong. They're too strong and too convenient. If I were to make a game, a different game than this one, you'd have to equip them yourself. You have to put way more work. Like, way more work into it. They're too easy. That's the problem with them. They're too convenient for what they allow you to do. And I say this because I play with other people a lot. And I know, relatively speaking, to how it is to play with others. Like, literally, I'm not even touching my keyboard right now, and they're winning this fight. How? How is that possible? You know? They need to be... You need to make this happen more. You know what I'm saying? What I would like to do, even though it would be very difficult, is to allow you to write the logic. Right? Kind of in Dragon Age Origins, but maybe with a better interface than there. Right? a better interface than there. You write the logic. So I just create a system where you can select. I've played other games like this. None of them have a good system like this. None of them. I mean, Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 with mods. There's a mod for tactics. Kind of allows you to do it. But it's not friendly at all. And probably no matter how you do it, it's never gonna be friendly. If you allow it to be very good, it's never gonna be friendly. But you should do this, and you should equip. Dragon Age Origins is perfect example. You equip your companions, right? I cannot do it here. Well, I can allow you to clone your character. I can allow you to. Well, it's a long discussion. Yeah. It doesn't. I know. It's a long discussion. Maybe someday. I don't know. Maybe someday, but I have to figure out other things. Problem is, if I allow you to just use your alts, like just straight up hire them, or just play with your alts while leveling, you can obviously have you have legacy companions, but those are already leveled up. And the problem is, if I allow you to use alts while leveling, you're gonna level up faster. The game is not balanced around you playing with 5 men, and I cannot. To make that possible, I have to rebalance the whole game. Like, it has to be a game centered around that, and it needs to be hard and long. But if I allow you to just play with all your alts, then you're gonna have 10 characters on your account in 2 weeks at level max, because it's easy to level. It's not hard at all. It's easy. Yeah, that's a problem. And part of this game, it's an MMORPG, right? It's not like a single player game with Dragon Age. You say, oh well, you maybe put 60 hours in it and you're done. Well, this is not. It's not like that, right? For an MMORPG to be able to exist and to continue to live, people need to play it. So if you're done in 60 hours, then like, you understand, it's all it's already low population and everything, so it would be very bad. It is the nature of the game. I don't know what to tell you. And that, yeah, that's one of the main concerns. You would level up too quickly. If I allow to play with 10 characters, I'll be one concern, that you level up too quickly. There are more concerns. Second concern, if I allow you to play with your alts, what happens? You play with your alts, yeah? Obviously, that's a stupid statement, but if you play with your alts, you don't play with other people, because you have to play with your alts. Because you have, let's say you're leveling full team of your alts. You have 5 characters on your account and you play with them. Let's say you want to do a dungeon with somebody else. You want to group up with somebody else. Well, you can't. Because if you make room for anybody else and they also have their own alts, then your own characters lose XP. So you cannot do it. You have to play with your alts. If I ever allow that, you have to play with your alts. There's no two ways about it. Up until you level them, and then you need to gear them up. If you were to go into a dungeon or a raid, you come with your alts, and all your alts need gear. So you're like, I don't want to play with other people, because I'm just gonna play with my alts, and all the gear goes to my alts, and now you're selfish about it. Okay, I say selfish. It's a bad word. Yes, it is selfishness, but it's pointless. It's everybody's following their own interest is a proper way to say it. And it's not about properness, it's correct. People follow their own interest. There's nothing wrong with that. It's normal. But you wouldn't be playing with other people. I would create an island, and this is not a single player game, and it would be fast, and you play single player, and it would also take a long time. It would take a long ass time. Yeah, unlike a single player game, if you think about Dragon Age, well, it takes you no time in Dragon Age. Like in 100 hours in Dragon Age, you finish the game. But here, to level up 5 in an MMORPG setting with MMORPG drop rates, it will not take you 100 hours. It will take you 300 hours, 500 hours, I don't know, many hundred hours. You will not gear up 5 characters, this is problem number 3, that quickly. I don't care if you're... Okay, first of all, no one's gonna listen to what I'm saying, so I'm just ranting to myself. But let's say you're listening to this, you're like, oh, this is such a great idea. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't care who's saying, oh, this is such a great idea. I don't care. This is false. Look, I've been through so many of these situations when people, oh, this is such a great idea. And after I implement it, no one's playing, including the people who said, oh, it's a great idea, but I'm never gonna play it. You know how many times I've had that? Many times. Ridiculous amount of times. You can only, learn a lesson so many times before you just learn the damn lesson. So I don't believe people who say, oh, I would play if only you could gear up your own characters. No, I don't believe you. You would not do this. It takes too damn long. There's a project out there, a single player project. You can go and play. You know how many people play that? Not as many people as they are on this server. Why? Because it takes you hundreds of hours to do it. To even get to level 60, first of all, it takes you... Well, it doesn't take you necessarily that long. I don't know, maybe a week. But gearing them up is what will take you a long time. Like, if gearing up one character takes a long time, let alone 5, let alone 40 or 25, whichever. So, yeah, I don't believe these people. They would quit. Someone comes to say, oh, I'm not playing because, I don't know, I want to gear up my own companions. Yeah, well, you'd play 5 minutes and then you'd quit. And I would never hear from you again. And then I would have this, all this time and effort invested in this. And I'm sure there'll be, I don't know, 1 or 2 people who do this. But the vast majority of people would not do it. It already takes a long time, even with the current system. And it's supposed to take a long time. They're thinking single player games, and I get it, because I play all of them. All the single player games, I've been playing them for many years. That's where I got the inspiration for this. But in a single player game, it just takes way less time. Like 60 hours in Dragon Age, you finish the game. Everybody has gear. 60 hours in World of Warcraft, you're not even gonna gear up one character, so I don't believe it. What they want is not possible. You need a game focused on that. Like, that has to be the premise of the game, and it cannot be a multiplayer game. I don't believe it. At least not with these rates. Again, I don't care. Maybe there is some game who's trying to do that, but they're not... They don't have World of Warcraft 1% drop rates for items. You know what I'm saying? You go to a raid and, yeah, 40 of your characters now need gear from there. This is common sense. This should not be even controversial. If you even remotely have experience of World of Warcraft, you understand how long it takes to gear up a raid of people. How even after 6 months of raiding, 1 year of raiding, like half the people don't have a lot of the gear, because a lot of it gets funneled into a few select people. There's a priority list. It takes a long time, very long time. So right now, people who play, they gear up very quickly, because there's only, I don't know, a handful of people who need gear. And there's bonuses to drop rates and everything when you play without people. So that makes the gearing up pretty fast. But then you multiply that by 40. It's like how many times can you stomach to do something for your character? I don't know, like 40 characters is too many for someone to care. It's simply too many. It's too many. I don't believe anybody who's telling me that's not. I don't care about exceptions. Again, you make a game for exceptions. That's also a fallacy. It's like, oh yeah, just I would play it. It's like, you're the one guy, bro. Like, it's already a niche idea, and you wanna cater it to even more niche people. Give me a break. Sorry, but it needs to be reasonable, and it cannot be reasonable in this current setting. I don't see it. It needs a whole rebalancing of the game. If you wanted to do that, then maybe you can have, I don't know, 5 characters that you have to worry about. Not 40, not 25. 5 characters with high drop rates. Okay. If you had to spend a month or 2 gearing up your 5 characters, okay. I can see that. But realistically speaking, in today's situation, with having access to thousands of games which all vie for your attention, yeah. And I might still do it sometime. Like, at some point, I might just do it for shits and giggles. You know? Just for shits and giggles. Maybe once I'm done with this project, like when Vanilla TPC and Wrath of the Lich King will be out, and I do all the things that I want to do, maybe that's gonna be the final thing I do. Just implement this. Not because I expect anybody to play it. I know it's gonna be a waste of time. But just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna do it. But until then, I don't think so, because it's not so simple as, oh, just hire your alts or something. It's not so simple, because then you're like, well, I'm playing with my alts, and now I need to do quests. Now I need to turn in items. Now I need to pick up quest items. Now I need to gear up my alts while I'm playing on my main character. Now I need to log in on my alt because I don't know what for. So there's a whole bunch of, I don't know. You need certain control over your characters. And it has to be something graphic. You can make it through text, you know, given enough time you can do it, but it's difficult to control it. It's difficult to understand. Like, how do you know if your alt is full? It has no more space in the inventory. You need to see what his inventory is like. How do you see that? Can I just print in text, like you see the debugging here on the left side, and it just shows you all the items? Yeah, I have command like that already on vanilla, but it's not like when you open your inventory, it's like, okay, yeah, I see, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's hard, maybe in some ways. I use PFUI, right? It makes this giant chat, but a lot of people don't have PFUI. They have the standard UI, and in the standard UI, the chat is abysmal. It's very difficult to operate it. Yeah, it's hard to scroll up. It's hard to see what's in there. So if you have, you know, 4 36 slot bags plus your 16 whatever, that's like what, 140 something more, I don't know. Imagine, like, you can't even print that many. Like, you're limited to 100 lines. You understand? 100 lines. How? Where? Why? It's not gonna work. Maybe you want to look in the bank. How are you gonna do that? You can't do it. Also, it makes no sense. In this scenario, it makes no sense to have separate banks as well. Like, you should have like one account-wide bank, and obviously bank slots for separate characters. Maybe. Sure. It's hard. It's just too hard to manage. It's frustrating. And your frustrations would be amplified by the fact that it takes a long ass time to play and to gear up. So you spend a lot of time. No, maybe the leveling process is not necessarily the longest. You can do it within a week, just standard. Because you're playing with the companions anyway and they gain experience. So if you do quests, if you were to do quests on the companions, it would take you a week, 8 days. 2 weeks maybe, if you actually play. Take a vacation from work, I don't know. So it wouldn't necessarily take long to level, but you'd be spending a lot of time trying to gear them up and figure out, is this an upgrade? Do I have enchant on this character? How do I enchant it? Do I have to log in on that character every time? It's tedious. And you think, and I promise you, people who request this, they never think about these stuff, these issues. They never think about them. And I talk with these people a lot in voice chat, in text. And every time I bring this up, oh, sorry, I didn't think about this. Oh, you think you didn't think about it? Oh, well, sure, bro. Oh, if only I could play with my ults. Yeah, well, you didn't think too long about that one. Let me list you all these issues, which you yourself would have, and if this was implemented, you'd be first in line to tell me about it. How it's hard to gear up your ults while playing with them. Yeah, it takes a genius to realize that, man. Just spend 30 seconds thinking about what potential issues could I have in that situation. Even aside from the logistics of implementing this, yeah, leaving that aside, like as a player, what problems would you have? You don't even remember what quests you have on your main character. How are you gonna track what quests you've done on your ults? If you need to play with people, you're not gonna play with them because you don't want to desync your progress. What happens if one of your characters falls ahead or behind in XP? You think no one's gonna complain about that? Bruh, please. 100%, 100% they would complain. It's like, oh, my main is 26 and my ult is 24. Ace, fix please. When you play Dragon Age, you just have one level. Like, well, okay, you have multiple levels, but mostly you should be around the same level. Actually, if I think about it, there are certain, because I play CRPGs, there are certain CRPGs which don't sync your level, there are certain who do sync your level. And they sync your level for this very reason, because I play these games. What happens? You play with your main, your A team, and maybe one character, one on your companion leaves. And then what? Then you're stuck with all the other companions who are level 5 and you're 26 and it took you 300 hours to get to 26. So now you're completely discouraged. You are. That's why more modern CRPGs, they sync your level across the party. Yeah. Even if those characters stay in base, they still gain experience. You still share experience with them. They give you the option to not do this, but by default they share experience for this exact damn reason, and you have this exact damn problem. It's not unheard of, it's common. You would have this problem and you'd complain to me about it, and I cannot fix that problem for you, can I? In World of Warcraft MMORPG, if you expect this game to function like a normal game, I cannot fix that problem. That's an unfixable problem. And your experience will be less, you get frustrated and you quit. And I've spent how much time implementing this? And yeah, because of this one fact, you'd be like, oh, thanks. But if only I could sync my XP with my characters. If only I could pay $20 to sync my XP with my character. No. I know. It's annoying, but it cannot be done. Sorry. Yes, could I do it and just not care about it? Sure. To what end, though? I don't believe in half measures. Either it's a great idea and believe in it and I implement it, or it's like, why waste the time? I don't care. Overhealing wise, very little. He has overhealed a little bit, like you see on average is 21. That's the rejuvenation tick, so that's super okay. Max, yeah, just average 21. That's nothing, literally, like super okay, like way less than last time, way less. So yeah, it's good. I approve. I'm glad we paid attention last time and fixed it. But I would like to make a game one day on my own. That's similar to Dragon Age Origins. That was a great game. I really appreciated that. I hated the fact that they nerfed the tactics system towards the end. Like in the third game, they were heavily nerfed. And the AI was stupid. And what you could do with the tactics in the third game was insufficient relative to what you could do in the first game. Even the first game was kind of insufficient, but it was at least moddable and the community could fix it and implement more tactics. But I want full tactics. Like, I would make a game where you can fully just like write the logic. Well, write it, quote unquote write it, but build the logic with, you know, some UI that's functional. Obviously, not a lot of people would participate in that. Like, for most people, it would be just whatever default presets there will need to be in there. And I haven't thought too much about what the generic experience, like the default experience, should be like. I mean, you should still be able to pause it. That's the cool part about Dragon Age Origins or all the Dragon. You pause the game, like you press spacebar, it pauses. You can swap to a different character and control them and give him orders and all of that jazz. So you don't necessarily need to engage with setting up tactics. But I like the tactics system. And I don't know. It doesn't even need to be a game of... yeah, obviously it's hard to make something of that quality. But just something simple. Something simple where you can give, you know, commands, like write the logic of the bots, of the companions in game, so I can do whatever. I don't know. I mean, maybe we can do it with the companions. I was talking to Emil about. Maybe we can figure out a way to create some UI elements and to allow that to happen. Why not? It would take some work, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. All right. I don't think, yeah, just like the last time, I don't think there's any point going in there. It's just ads and you can handle it. It's not a big deal. So I'm gonna end it here. We did make some gold. Yeah, just as more or less the same as in Nomorgan, I suppose. The druid worked. Overhealing is, I would say, fixed. Lay on hands, I don't care. Gift of the Narrow is a hot, I don't care. Damage is, wow, exactly what you'd expect. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it every time. The Shaman tank, probably the highest damage dealing tank of them all. He's not, let's say, as reliable as the other tanks, but he gets the job done. And the damage is there. And we did clear pretty smoothly overall. So, I was talking the entire time. I was not even paying. I was just auto walking, basically. Just because I know the layout. But I was not paying any attention to this, and they got the job done. So again, in my opinion, even this is too easy. It would not... Look, I think just to achieve this, you should have to put in more effort. I don't know how. Like, the cost of hiring companions needs to be higher, much higher. You need to put more effort. This is way too easy. I literally just got carried. I didn't do anything. Okay, I used some commands, but it was way too easy. And we did this 4 levels lower. This guy is, the head honcho was 27. I don't know. I don't know. What's the solution? Their gear is not perfect. Like, it's way worse than it is in vanilla. It's randomized within 10 levels. You see, level 14 piece of equipment. Level 18, weapon. It is just randomized. It's white piece of gear. It's not even green. It's white. So their gear is not perfect. Their damage is still sufficient to do it. It's just how the game was designed. So the companions, I think the logic should be good, or at least maybe upgradable somehow. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say, but you cannot really upgrade something permanently. Well, you can, I guess. But it wouldn't really make sense. I don't know. I don't think that would be fun to do, upgrading their logic. I don't think so. I play other games with stupid AI and you quote-unquote upgraded. X4 is a great example. I love X4 in the X series. And what are they? Egosoft. I love Egosoft. I'm a huge fanboy. But I hate the fucking AI. Because it's stupid. Well, it has maybe kind of the same philosophy. The AI basic is stupid, but you can give them orders to make them smarter. If you manually set up orders for them, you can specialize them into doing something good. But even then, I have the same problem with so many games, dude. I need to make a game. Because by default, in the default game, without any mods, what you can, the orders that you can give to your ships and everything is limited. And then you install a bunch of mods that take care of this. And I don't think it's a matter of, the devs couldn't do it. 1,000,000,000,000% they could have done it. They didn't. Maybe the idea is that if you reach this situation, maybe where the AI is so good, what are you doing? What are you doing? Exactly, right? So But the difference would be, because I play with mods too, it's not like playing with mods that allowed me to make the AI smarter. It's not like it made me play the game less. Hell no. So I think just give the option for the player to make the AI better. So maybe with the companions it needs to be something similar. Maybe. I don't know. But how? How? I mean, I can cut back on the logic. I could say, okay, 3 tiers. Basic tier. They can cast fireballs. And that's it. And tier number 2, they can cast fireballs and powering up. Or tier 2 they can cast crowd controls and defensive abilities. Tier 3, they can use power-up abilities. I don't know, potions and whatever. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a good idea. I just thought about this, so I haven't been thinking about this a lot. But I can observe it's too easy, yeah? And I mean with common sense. I don't mean, hey, so I got 3 seconds to play. And yeah, you've played this game before. This is too easy. I got carried. Simple. If you think otherwise, it's fine. But this is what I believe. I believe it's too easy. And I've tried to make it harder by nerfing their gear. But it hasn't worked. By not giving them consumables from the gear. I like the consumable. I like the way you use a consumable and they use a consumable. How many times, you've seen, okay, probably no one's watching this video or the previous ones. But in the previous videos, many times I use consumables. And when they started using them, it made a significant noticeable differences. I like that. You made that happen. It just feels good. It feels good and it gives you purpose to bring consumables with you and to do something. And I like that. I don't know with the AI how that would work, honestly. How would I make this harder? Well, it's not harder. Because it's, using consumables and throwing a bomb makes the game easier. So it's not that I want to make it harder. How do I make it so you have to contribute more? Like, you have to contribute more. Because if you get carried, I didn't use consumables in this run. It wasn't particularly difficult. I didn't have to do anything crazy. They just carried. We didn't come close to wiping. We fought some pretty big packs and they lived. It was too easy. And they're 4 levels lower than the max. Not every dungeon is so easy, obviously. Nor should it be. I don't know what the solution is. Maybe I'll figure it out by Wrath of the Lich King. I'm already making it harder by vanilla standards anyway. I just don't think I'm there yet. It's not hard enough. Maybe with the cost needs to be higher. Triple minimum. Between 3 and 5 times higher. There has to be some penalty where you have to think twice. Imagine, because they did it in 4-man party. If you had contributed to this fight, it would have been even easier. So if the cost is prohibitive that you would at least only hire 3 companions and you'd be the 4th guy and you're maybe not as proficient with your rotation as these other guys, maybe that makes it difficult. So I'm going with this for TBC. Just their gear is randomized, at least in T0 and Tier 1 is gonna be shittier gear. After that, Tier 2 plus, I have no choice but to give them the good gear because there's no choice. Like every raid has whatever gear. Yeah, whatever. Like it has to make sense too. I can't give them some shitty pants from Naxxramas. They need to have Naxxramas gear that you expect. It's a pleasure. I'm not against them being strong. I'm against them being strong without earning them being strong. So for TBC, I'm gonna go with these changes. Gear randomized within 10 levels. Triple the hiring cost. Or quintuple it. I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'm noting down the gold. So it's 2 gold, 41. Let's see. RF Razorfen Kraul. This is 2 gold, 41. It's identical almost with Nomragan.
Open for business.
Wow. Holy crap. That's way more. 798. Wow. That's the most we've made so far. Yeah. This is also a problem. Like, I'm going to raise the cost. In vanilla, it's like maybe half of a dungeon run or something like this. This needs to be more. This needs to be way more. At least as much as a dungeon run. Maybe. If not more. I don't know. I don't know how else to make it hard. But no one can tell me it's not easy. If I get carried through a dungeon with 4 guys and I did nothing except show up and I'm naked and they carried me, no one can tell me how hard this was. Sorry, but I just play way harder games. Way harder games. This was not. This was. I wasn't even paying attention the whole time. I'm just talking. So, yeah. If it's gonna be easy, you're gonna pay for it. Is what I think. All right. I don't have anything on my to-do list. I fixed the paladin casting consecration as we were speaking. So, and the healer seemed to work. The damage DPS guys seem to work. We're just gonna do the next dungeon on the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.